In this episode, I'm going to talk about the things you need to be looking for when buying your first mobile home park. Also, stick around till the end where I talk about the report that you need to get to protect yourself from literally millions of dollars worth of potential losses. Mobile home parks are kind of a unique property type, so if you don't know what you're looking for, you could waste a lot of time, maybe never even find one, or worse, buy a bad one. What's up guys, Mario Dattilo here. Welcome to my channel where we talk everything mobile home parks. Be sure to hit that subscribe and the bell button so you can stay tuned. Now, let's quit the small talk and jump right into it. Number one, don't go too small. Buying a 3-space mobile home park is gonna generate about the same revenue as a single family home, and it's gonna be tough to get financing for it. Look for parks with 20+ occupied lots. Number two, avoid communities with all park-owned homes. For your first park, I'd recommend that you buy a community with mostly resident-owned homes and maybe even a few park-owned homes that you can convert. Buying one with 100% park-owned homes is going to be a heavy lift. It's going to take a lot more time, a lot more money, and it's going to take more staff until you've got all the homes sold off. Your first deal should definitely have upside, but if you buy something that overwhelms you, then it's going to slow you down from buying other properties anytime soon. Financing on these parks will be a lot harder, and so it's going to require you to either negotiate seller financing, pay cash, or you're going to have to go out and find that rare bank that'll finance it. 3, think before you buy private utilities. Now notice I didn't say don't buy them, but you need to understand what they entail because they're going to take a bit more work and they're higher risk than public utilities. Buying a park with private utilities has its risks. There's a lot of factors such as what type of water and sewer, what's the age of the utilities, what's the geographic location, and so many other things. Water's either going to be city or it's going to be well. Sewer is going to either be city, septic, wastewater treatment plant, or lagoon. Septic is typically going to be the lowest cost for maintenance and repairs. Wastewater treatment plants can be pretty good on costs when they're running well, but when they're not, they're very expensive to fix. Lagoons are old school and the biggest health risk, so you might have government harassing you to get rid of it, which could become very expensive in that situation. Generally, you want to avoid lagoons altogether and decide if you can get comfortable with any of the other private systems. Drop any questions that you have about private utilities in the comments below and I'll make sure to answer them for you. Number 4, good locations. There's only a few things that you can't fix about a property, and one of them is the location. If the neighborhood has low median household incomes, decreasing population, or high crime rates, these are all going to affect the property and there's nothing that you can do about it, so look elsewhere. You want to be the most affordable housing option in the neighborhood, so single family homes should be selling over $100,000 and median incomes should be over $40,000 in that zip code. Number 5, flood zones. Buying a park in a flood zone could have very high insurance or even make the park uninsurable. One of the first things that you should check is the FEMA flood map to see if the property that you're considering is in a flood zone, because there's different levels of risk. Talk to your insurance agent and lender early on if it is in a flood zone. The truth is, FEMA flood maps are not always accurate. Knowing the history of flooding at that park is also very important. Being in a flood zone, regardless of whether it ever actually floods or not, is going to come with a lot of restrictions and a lot higher costs. If the property has a history of flooding into the homes, just pass on that one. I told you I'd give you the one report that you can't afford to skip. And during due diligence, you're going to order multiple third-party reports, but not ordering a Phase 1 environmental is like playing Russian roulette.
Archie was trying to get my attention, so first he put 2 straws in his nose like a walrus, and then
A third-party vendor is going to research the property and they're going to determine if there's any reason to believe that the site's been contaminated. This serves almost as an insurance policy in case you bought the property and found out later that it was dirty. If you got one of these reports, there's actually a fund that'll pay for the cleanup. If you didn't, then you're responsible, and it can be millions of dollars to resolve the issue. A $4,000 report is worth saving you $40 million in cleanup. Check out the next Mobile Home Park Investing for Beginners episode.